How do the crowds accept American players? Are you an extra celebrity because you're an American, or are you, let's see, less popular because you're American, or?
Yeah, I don't think you're less popular than other players, but the league is tailored without a doubt around the Russian stars, the big Russian stars. Those being Kovalchuk, Alexander Radulov, a player by the name of Sergei Mosiakin, who's been playing many years in KHL, but he could play in the NHL and be a star. He chooses to stay in Russia because he's making just absurd amounts of money. There's a few other big Russian stars that have played in Russia a majority of their career. So I'd say there's 5 to 6 superstars that are really, the league is, focused on them at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm leading the league in goals and 3rd or 4th in points or something, but I'll never reach that status in Russia of those big-time Russian stars. They're the biggest stars in the country. There's not any real big movie stars or any other big athletes other than the hockey players. So those guys are more famous in Russia than our hockey players are here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you get to play with them every other night, against them every other night.
Yeah. Of course, Joker doesn't have any of those. We don't have one Russian player, so
right.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different playing for a team outside of Russia. But the big Russian teams that have the big stars. The league really focuses and tailors itself from the media perspective around those guys.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've touched on this. I'll go to question 5.
Right.
I expect a decision to leave North America and go to Finland has been smart for many reasons. So this is a question about signing the NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a unique situation that I'm in now because I've spoken with, my agent's probably spoken with 12, 15 teams in the NHL at this point. I'll only go to the NHL on a one-way contract, not a two-way coming out of college. So, like, for example, Bob or Paul or any of those guys, when you're coming out of college, they sign you to, there's a certain amount of money you make in the NHL and then a certain amount that you would make if you play in the minors.
Right.
I'm now 25, I'll be 26 next season. So I'm able to sign a one-way contract. In other words, it's, let's say it's for $700,000. I get $700 whether I'm in the minors or I'm up in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
So my agent's told every team that's interested, if you're going to sign him or if you're going to offer him, then it's going to be a one-way.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a nice situation to be in, obviously. But again, it's kind of it'll come down to if I feel like the team is going to give me a realistic chance to play, in an offensive role and be put in a position to be successful, then I'll take much less money coming back to North America than I could get on some of the big Russian clubs. Like I said, they can pay pretty big salaries, and with the season that I've been able to have, I would be up for a good amount of money from a Russian team. So it will come down to if I feel like I want to try to play in the NHL, I need to find a team that's going to give me a real chance to play games in the NHL on a top 2 lines on the power play, and then I'll make that decision. So that will be something that I'll have to deal with probably over the next 2 months or so. I've been telling my agent that I would like to finish this season, focus on what we've got going right now, and then when the season's over, we're going to sit down and kind of weigh both sides, whether it be staying and playing in Russia somewhere or trying to go back to the NHL. But obviously, it's a really exciting time,
Yeah.
and I'll have some big decisions, I think, over the next couple months.
So you mentioned that you would want to play for a team that would take advantage of your offensive skills. And for example, a team like the Bruins have a reputation of sort of squashing the offensive instincts of certain players.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that even though you were a junior Bruin for many years, well, you don't have to. This is off the record. I'm assuming the Bruins are not in the mix of teams that you would want to play for.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't gotten a phone call from Peter Chiarelli or the Bruins. So
Okay.
yeah, obviously growing up in Boston, that would be awesome, but maybe it's not the right fit for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
1 second, I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Sure, no problem.